G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a vampire's minigun with bashing damage increased by 40% and 25% less VATS action point cost per shot. Completely useless tertiary effect, we will not be shooting this at all, because we'll be spinning up the whirly death blades and hitting stuff for it. And the takeaway message here, I'll just give it to you early so you don't have to watch the video if you don't want to, because I'll just be testing this against a stand a lot of enemies. These things are viable now, they're really good, because the problem with these things back before patch 25 is that you'd use them for about 2 seconds and then they'd break on you because for some reason you're using this thing would degrade it very quickly, but they've gone ahead and sorted all of those problems out, so this thing can be used fairly regularly and a long time before it wants to break on you, which is great. So if you want to grab one of these things for the resilient thing on the daily ops, that's perfectly okay, and you don't even have to have a heavy guns build to actually utilize this because you just need 2 points of strength for Basher to increase that by 20% or whatever. Maybe it's a little bit more. I don't really care about the Basher perk, but maybe I will after this. So, you know, grabbing this thing for a daily up probably might be a good option if you don't have a good melee build. If you want to tank stuff with power armor at the same time, then that's okay. You can utilize stabilize with this at the same time. You'll note that the damage is already at 38. That's because my health is just about ready. We haven't jumped in power armor yet, but once we do jump in power armor... Shut up, Snapchat. Phone goes away now. Yes, once we do jump in peril, we'll be able to utilize stabilize, which is great. We've also got a couple of other perks here, like Bloody Mess, to increase that damage slightly further. That all-important 15% additive. It's not very important at all, but we've also got Ricochet. That synergizes well with a vampire's weapon because the projectiles that do reflect back are yours, so you actually will get the healing of it. Thanks to you for letting us know about that. I've also got Dodgy because that receives a bit of a buff. Anything with an automatic rifle won't eat away my action points at all. Not that I'll need my action points for sprinting, because when the barrel's spinning you can't do anything. You can't stim pack, you can't sprint or anything, so a little bit of tankiness out of that, helpful. And you got a 2-second cooldown whenever that activates, so you know, if we do happen to want to go sprinting for a little bit, we can do that. And whilst we are sprinting, we've got Pain Train, we've got full charge, so if we hit stuff, it'll do damage to them and stagger them. Very nice. And we won't consume no fusion core energy or extra fusion core energy whilst we're sprinting. That's good. We've got Basher. I mean, yeah, of course we've got Basher. There it is. It does 50% more damage. Is it additive? Probably. So not all that, I guess, great. But the cripple chance is great because a cripple is an immediate stagger. This thing hits extremely fast, so it'll stagger them quickly. And blocker is there. If we get punched, it'll do a lot less damage. We've also got concentrated fire. It's quite pointless, to be honest. We could have fire on the hull, so if we want to toss a grenade at range or a Molotov if we want to hit something, but that's okay. What I might do is just chuck on something like Enforcer later on during the video to bring down a Scorch Beast so we can shred them in the face. Enough talking about this, let's just go ahead and slice people up with it, I suppose. Okay, welcome to the Fog Factory, and the output is impressive today. It's unfortunate for them that we won't actually need to be away from them to see them. The fog really isn't going to do them any good. No. So we'll just keep on chopping. Why not? It's not like we're going to die. I think the only thing that can possibly kill us would be a Mylurk Kang. So we've got to look out for those bastards. I think if a Mylurk Queen hits us on the face with one of the snot bubbles, then that'll get us. But that's okay, because we'll have to deal with that when we get to it. Right now, we're just fighting a bunch of green assholes. There we go. Now, if we check out this thing's condition, it's barely moved. Now, I do have the extra bonus of using Gunsmith, which is, I guess, to an extent, has been indirectly nerfed thanks to this patch, but that's okay because, you know, if I'm live streaming and going for a really long time, this thing is going to be copping a proper pounding. It's going to be flogged like a P-plated V6 Commodore. So, with that in mind, this thing might actually be usable during a stream just to, you know, fuck around and not having to use much ammo at all. Very good. A proper melee solution for a character that doesn't really use melee weapons anymore. Not any of the official melee weapons. We'll use our jetpack here just to hop on this guy's face, slice him up, down he goes. It's got a quick time to kill, not the fastest of any weapons in the game, but the thing is with this is you're not going to die whilst using unless you come up with some stupid damage over time. But I think that dog's stuck in a wall. Oh wait, no, there he is. Didn't catch him, but that's okay. We've got him now. Let's head inside because this fog is, it's eating my CPU. The Todd rays are too much. Bet you've never seen Todd rays on console like that, huh? You'd be at like 25 frames a second if your little puny consoles tried to do that. Alright, so we've got problems here. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. The massive elephant in the room with this weapon has been addressed, but here's the thing. You can't do anything until the barrel is completely non-moving. You can't stim pack, you can't sprint, which is a little bit of a problem because it does kind of break up the flow. You can't really charge around and punch stuff like this like Becca can with a power fist. You gotta be kind of like a slow-moving tank sort of thing. A little bit of compromise here. Also, if you drop down ledges from first person, I do believe it cuts out the thing. Yeah, so that's kind of a pain in the ass too. I do believe you can actually get rid of that if you use this thing in first person. Yeah, I can jump around like, you know, I'm sitting on a barbecue and my balls are hanging low. I can jump around like that and I'll have no problem. So, like always, just go for headshots, you'll get superior damage. Now, what I'm thinking is, since this weapon can output an impressive amount of damage and I basically can't die whilst using it, I could probably kill the Queen with this, or maybe even Earl. Now, I'm wondering if you had the Prime Barrel installed on this, whether you would actually be able to utilize that superior damage towards Scorch with the Bash. I've also got the power armor with it's the Strangleheart, so I get slight damage over time. It's not much, it's something. So yeah, I'm also more likely inclined to use this against Earl because, you know, his stomping moves won't probably do much. I think they nerfed Earl a lot. His damage used to be so much, unless Winter's gotten stronger, which I haven't boosted her endurance at all, so don't know what that's all about. Another legendary, he goes down. And, well, at least it's a 3-star, right? Actually, that's not the one I got. That was a 2-star dog. Unless, you know, they've made a bug that 2-star legendary enemies drop 3-star shit, which I don't think anyone ever would complain about. But yeah, against Earl, I expect to kill him a little bit faster than in 20 minutes. That is generally a good time to kill if it's like well below that. Anything over 5 minutes, I think, is just because considering what kind of time I got on a Scorch-based Queen with Winter when I was barely doing any chems or anything, I think it was like a minute 45, kind of half-assed it. You could easily get under 90 seconds, so if we can get anywhere close to that, that would be great. But let's move on to the ghouls now, it's their turn to die. Alright, none of this choke point nonsense. I'm just gonna go in, hold down the trigger and not release it, and we'll see how we go. I really doubt these ghouls will end up staggering us, but, well, if that happens, I'll be surprised. I think we'll have a little bit of trouble against the fat ass if he's spawned. It might be a Wendigo though. About a 50-50 shot of each of them, I suppose. I'll be able to tell when they are sneaking up on me because I'll have that angry sound of them being hit because I've got that damage over time around. Still can't believe they nerfed that. That's such a shame, man. It was really good back in the day, but console players kept complaining about it reducing performance, and anyone with a lesser PC, which even, yeah, I've got a lesser PC now. I had a Titan in that thing. It still goes alright, but this thing's heaps more powerful, and I don't think I'd have problems with that. Nice. That was like a vertical sleeping ghoul right there. If he had been hanging upside down, he would have been like a bat. Now, there's already bats in the game, so he would have been very unoriginal. That one had his leg in a post box. I don't know what I'm supposed to read into that, but it's certainly a thing that's happened. Yeah, I'm just kind of walking into these ghouls and killing them. It's a very low effort playstyle, which is great, which means you can stream this and go for a long time. Now, obviously, the fat ass did get a couple of hits in there, but the healing definitely outdid what pitiful damage he could do, because I've got all of this power armor defense by default, and then you stack on top of that the emergency protocols, which I'm utilizing, yeah. So I'm actually fairly confident that I can take the brunt of an Earl or a Scorched Beast Queen with no problem. See, I did actually switch to third person in midair there, so I wouldn't have to, you know, spin up the barrel as soon as I landed. Now, whilst you are focusing on Earl with this thing, or Scorched Beast, obviously you've got Earl's Wendigo friends, which are glowing, but don't have the glowing keywords attached to them, so they're stupid. Huh. Well, there you go. There's a little bit of, oh shit, what's it called? The thing where they add in disabled people. You see that Blood Eagle had no arms and was using a rocket launcher. Some sort of progressive bullshit. But the Blood Eagles, the crackheads, they're feeling on the progressive side today, so good on them. Unfortunately, we won't have people putting up flags on their cover photos saying I stand with the crackheads, because, you know, people might read into that the wrong way. So we'll keep on sprinting. We had basically no trouble there. The Blood Eagles are squishy though. They're enemies that are well designed. They're squishy, but if you let them attack you, they'll fuck you up. So, you know, they make you alert. They're not just bullet sponges for the sake of being bullet sponges, like this fucker over here. Now, if you're going to stagger, you're going to have a very bad day. He kind of gave up, and you know what? I wouldn't blame him. Keeps the kills faster, so I'm happy with that. And we'll give this a little bit of an update on the condition bar. Hasn't moved at all. Alright, let's get started on these crabs, huh? Give them a bit of a shave here and get them that way. Right, these basic cast crabs, they're fine. They'll take a stagger, but I'm more worried about the Mirelurk Kings. I don't seem to see one yet, although they have got cloaking powers sometimes. Let's just step in on this little brawl here. There's definitely something going on. That one's got a... Well, he had a Gatling plasma, but dropped the 50 machine gun. The Mirelurk Razor Claw. Well, not sure what's going on with the spawns here. We haven't seen any kings. Now, what I would like to do here is crush the queen's legs with... Oh, it's a level 60 queen. Well, the game's pulling punches here. That's very disappointing. That would also explain the Mirelurk Razor Claw. Now, I didn't fast travel here prior to recording or anything, so I'm not really sure why it spawned under-leveled enemies. Is there a new bug in the game? Okay, so I'd like to remind you that this thing has degraded like 0, and I didn't even have Gunsmith on that entire time, because you see I repaired this shotgun to utilize with Enforcer, and I didn't see fit to put Gunsmith back on. So, oh, gutsies. Now that's a little bit of a problem. Let me just hold on, boys. Fuck, I didn't put that on my quick select. I don't know why I don't prepare for that. I'm just in the mood to send it. Right. Now that's on, and oh no, it's unhighlighted. Righto, fuck sticks. There you go. Now you're dead. I think we whacked him. I think we whacked him on the thruster there, because he went down in like 2 separate hits. All right, so I actually want to see whether we can jump up to him and give him one of these whilst they're flying a bit lower. If you've ever heard the phrase, I could bite the crotch of a low-flying duck, that means I'm hungry. And right now I could bite the crotch of a low-flying squash beast. That's how hungry I am. A lot of, I think, you know, due to the size of the thing, there's a lot of crutch on. Hey, it's a delicacy here in Appalachia. Don't look at me like that. Alright. Get it. Come closer. Yes, it's working. Obviously, I can't maintain it for long enough to actually do it, but, you know, proof of concept totally works. If I want to, you know, mess with the Scorch Beast Queen by killing her that way, that would be great. Now, these fuckers, you got to worry about them. The melee dudes. And if you could spin up the barrel, that would be nice. There we go. Cheeky little stagger there keeps them from hitting you. And old mate has landed in the zone. He says he wants... he's doing a classic heavy gunner Minecraft power armor guy during Scorched Earth. A swing and a miss. You can kind of sit behind him. Yes, unfortunately for that Scorched Beast, he kind of had no reverse gear, so... Didn't know what to do after he charged forward. But that's okay. It's not our problem. Now we are at a node rage now, so we're getting slightly less damage. It's additive though, so negligible at best. Now I'm hoping we can actually pull the bat out of hell here and just, you know, cookie and like mess with his face, rearrange his facial features. Yes, here we go. Oh, it's a legendary. Stakes are on. Stay there. Okay, wasn't fast enough to actually outpace. Yeah, past the regeneration. It's disgusting. Outpace is the word I'm looking for. Alright. Get on the ground. Or maybe it's a... Okay, I'm just thinking about where bat would be a delicacy from, and we're not in 2020 anymore, so I can make these coronavirus jokes. Oh shit, that's how it started. Really, really hungry blokes, just going for everything. Fuck yeah, that joke's gonna age well when we have a third fucking wave of COVID-19. We're gonna use VATS here. There we go. That's done the job. And then we're gonna find the thing again. See, my eyes look at the unhighlighted weapon and think, yeah, don't go for that one. But no, this is the case where we actually want it. Now, question is, okay, so if you get staggered out of bashing, you have to restart the barrel, which is like a second or even more where you're out of DPS. If you go in a third person, however, I think you can resist that a little bit. Wait for him to punch again. I'm gonna test that out. Okay, so it stops it right away. So definitely, if you're going Scorched Earth or Colossal Problem with this thing, third person is the way to go. Because if you don't, then Scorched Beast will eat your ass into the head cave. Your head caves in, because you'll be sitting there holding down the trigger and not getting any DPS. If you're not getting any DPS, you're not getting any healing. If you're not getting any healing, you're fucking dead, because some stupid rad scorpion with damage over time, or Myla King or Hunter, will sit on your face and you'll be dead. Fuck me. I haven't got this thing set on high performance right now. I'm getting console frame rate for PC graphics. That's okay. We're in the summer now, and I don't like to keep this thing too warm. Alright, we know this thing would be viable. This is a bit of a mess around video, just fooling around with it. And surprise, surprise, it's really good. Problems, range obviously, but that's a given with a melee weapon. And of course, having this thing stop when you drop from a ledge at in first person when being staggered. So you got to look out for that. If you want to reduce staggers and not be in power armor, you can get the pneumatic armor piece for your chest. It's a modification which might help you. But I do think using shit like dents is better. Obviously with Earl Williams, you got to use the explosive, the asbestos lining. And Dents is super useful in Scorched Earth because, you know, the Scorched Beast Queen has explosive breath and all the other Scorched Beasts do, and all the other explosives from everywhere. So, yeah. If staggering is too much of a problem, that is an option, but there are better options for survivability already. So you might have to just deal with it. Thank you for watching, guys.